episode 11. Episode 11. Episode 11. Welcome to episode 11, Drawing Coastal Effects. My name is Wes Jones, and I hope you've enjoyed the journey thus far, taking a map from nothing to everything. Today, we're going to look at the coast. I've got a few ideas. I want to try out a couple, and yeah, we'll make that coastline look much better. Okay, let's go. Let's turn this off, and let's zoom down to the appropriate spot and add in a new layer. It's always so great when you look through a list that long and you've actually named things. We'll call this one right below the land coast. Let's call it coast. And we can start with that. I'll draw some lines. There's so many techniques you can use for the coastal effect. It's actually an area where you can play around and have a lot of fun with it. Let's zoom in just so we get a better look. Those are just some lines. Here you can see I've gone around, created these rings. I've already established with the color that I've got this shallow water, basically. And if I were to do these rings, I would go along that water line. Do something like that, a couple series of the rings. You can already tell I don't really like the look of that on this map, but that's an option. Waves is always an option. You could go around the whole map that way. But I talked about that shallow waters, and you can see that it just doesn't look right if I draw those waves too far into it. So I'd either stay within them and draw little lines like that, or go on the outside and draw lines. That one looks alright. That one, see, like that one doesn't. These look alright. But when I zoom out, I don't like the look of it at all. You gotta look at the map from a close-up perspective and a far perspective. Let's get rid of those. Now, I can already tell that the dark's not going to work. Let's change the pen to white and see how that looks. I can already tell that I like the look of that way better. Something I've always wanted to try and I've never done, I don't think on any of my maps, is to draw the coastline vertically. I really like the look of it, but again on this map, it just doesn't help. I don't think it's, yeah, I'm going to have to not do it on this map. Zoom in, get rid of those lines. I do want to add something, and I think I've got to be subtle with the stroke. Draw something that looks like waves. I think this is going to work. I think if I draw this sporadically around the map, it'll end up looking interesting enough. Let's try that. I can always change the transparency of it later if I need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom around the whole map, and yeah, this will be a relatively short video. As I started drawing the waves, I realized I hadn't paid attention to the pen size. Flip between 8 and 12 pixels, settled on 12 to match the land line work, and whipped around the coastline, drawing in those waves, which I think were fairly effective. When I got up north, I realized that I wanted to change the line work ever so subtly around the ice. Made it very thin, but I think it helped the eye understand that that ice was just slightly different than maybe some of those northern islands. I changed the transparency. At the end, I thought that the white was a little too strong. By pushing those waves to the background just a slight bit, I think it did help the overall look at the map. I'm pleased with the end result. In the next video, I am going to add in the text on the map. That's always an exciting phase because you're adding those words to the map. You're making those places have names, and the land and mountain change to get those names. Exciting. If you enjoyed the video, well, I don't know, there's like 47 left. No, I'm getting closer to the end, and this has been a great journey so far. I also have a book that's worth noting. You can find a link to that in the description. I might as well finish how we began with the song. Happy mapping, happy fantasy mapping.